people. All right, all right, all right. We're back. And I did say I was going to do this video yesterday, but I was quite busy. Busy doing things that I don't really want to be doing, but I have to because of reasons, situations. But less about my personal life and more about the Manchester United supporters' life, a life of misery, it would seem. That unhappy marriage, but you're clinging on to hope that maybe she'll just decide, you know what? Let's give you let's give you a breather. So so this is the Manchester United versus Leicester preview for tonight. FA Cup action. We've just seen the previous 2 days, the Carabao Cup semi-final second legs were between Arsenal, Newcastle, and Liverpool, Tottenham, and mate, Arsenal and Tottenham, North London is in the bin at the moment, but so's Manchester, mate. Do you know what? London and pretty much the whole of London and the whole of Manchester is in the mud. It quite literally is the two footballing capitals of the country, and then there's little old Liverpool and Merseyside. They're enjoying life right now. Um, yeah, not great at the moment, but do you know what? FA Cup action is an opportunity for Manchester United to sort of kick the weekend's proceedings off the right way, get us done and dusted out the way, get us a win, secure us a win. I'll tell you what, it's forecasts. The forecast of this game, it should be a game that is that's heavily in our favour. It should be, has to be, right? Surely. But the ordeal with that, I think, is quite simply stated. That it's just Manchester United. We were absolutely awful last time out against Crystal Palace last weekend. 2-0 losers in that. And Leicester City were awful last time out against Everton. They lost 4-0. So they obviously doubling our scoreline and double the embarrassment. But nonetheless, it's Manchester United, so we can't look at that and think, well, that should give us a preview of what's expected to happen. Leicester could easily beat us. I mean, they've beaten Tottenham Hotspur. They're not really in much of a better position than we are at Tottenham. So Leicester could realistically come to Old Trafford and win this game. This is a possibility. It's a home game, and we absolutely suck at home. So, well, we kind of suck away as well. But we just need to play a big team every single week, and we'll watch the best Manchester United side you've ever seen. But at home, the smaller the opposition, the more adversity there is. So, I'm just looking for us to avoid embarrassment. I don't really care what the scoreline is in the sense of a win. I just need to see us get through and not be embarrassed. Because losing to Leicester, I mean, they're the away team. They've pretty much not won many fixtures. It's a bit like Southampton. Um, I mean, they hadn't won a single away fixture before coming to Manchester United and still haven't since. However, this time around, Leicester, they've won a couple of games, but similar story, similar kind of boat. You know, it's a difficult venture to travel away from home for Leicester. When under Ruud van Nistelrooy, I know they've had one or two, good results, but ultimately, they're still a side that really, really struggles. You know, there's a lot of championship quality still in that team, and they just don't have the tools necessarily to compete with Premier League opposition and Premier League outfits. That's kind of the double-edged sword for Man United, because at the same time, we've seen our team perform lesser than a Premier League outfit. So what's stopping Leicester from picking something up tonight? So I'm not overly confident nor convinced about Manchester United, but one thing that would be a really big point of interest, apparently, as well, by the way, the team news got leaked over 24 hours before the game, yet again, similar as to what happened um, uh, previously to Manchester City. Um, Team sheet came out pretty much exactly over about 24 hours before the game even kicked off, and lo and behold, that was the exact team that started. But apparently, team news has been leaked again. As to what that team actually is, I'm not sure. I haven't seen the alleged leaked team, but I'm hoping that we do have Patrick Dorgu starting over the left-hand side, because one of the things that needs to be made quite apparent is that the system seems to be struggling a lot with the wingbacks, and there's just no productivity, no outlet, no creativity from the wide positions. We've sort of had to rely on attackers being forced to start in those positions. But I think Amorim sort of hoped to try and deliver a bit more of a defensive discipline, defensive shaping. So, of course, perhaps he was expecting us to be a lot more defensive than offensive in the first, whenever he opts to play for it, because obviously he's a little bit concerned um, about gaps or indiscipline in the defensive areas. But the problem is that even despite playing with a strong defence, 5 players, back 5 essentially, we've still seen indiscipline and mistakes from individuals in the back line. So yeah, we've got some big issues. So I'm hoping with Dorgu coming into the team setup that we see a little bit of an improvement to the balance of how we play football, how we conduct possession, how we are defensively out of possession. And if Dorgu does start, then for me, it's a blank canvas. Let's see what you're made of, because I'm not necessarily somebody who rates Patrick Dorgu. It's all alleged at the moment. It's all alleged. Allegedly, he fits the profile. Allegedly, he suits the system. He's got a good age profile, but let's see exactly what he's capable of now, and we can work out what perhaps he'll be more capable of further down the line. Will we see that? I don't know. But will he be given the chance? Because if it was Eric Ten Hag in charge, I know for a fact that we probably wouldn't have seen Patrick Dorgu, because he don't necessarily like starting his new signings outright, as we saw previously with Manuel Ugarte. Didn't want to play him straight away. Just thought like, oh, he's got to adapt. You've got to give him time. But then the time just never came. So hopefully we don't get a similar situation with Dorgu. I can't imagine we will. I think the situation's a little bit too desperate for that to be the case. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see what we get tonight. I am intrigued to see what we get, and hopefully, if Dorgu does come into the system and he does play his individual role well, that we see the team benefit overall, because then that means, well, surely that's you can kick on from that. There's something to build upon. Start the foundations of something positive and then just build upon it. So that's what I'm ultimately looking for if we do see the start of Dorgu. It's just what impact he has as an individual, and what does it signify for the rest of the team. Of course, we need to see mistakes be fixed. I think the whole starting Mainu in the 9 position last game against Crystal Palace was an absolute bamboozling decision. I had no idea why he opted to do that, but it doesn't suit him. He's much more suitable as a supporting player to a number 9, but above all else, a number 9 that plays possession football quite well. I think we all know who we're talking about here. It's definitely not Højlund. It's 100% Xerxes. So we know we've got to see Xerxes starting in the 9 position, but persist with Mainu playing further up the pitch. Persist with him playing in that 10, because the 10 is where you're going to see his best work comparatively to in the number 6/8. Plus also, now we can say in the 9, his best work will come in the number 10. And does beg the question, who would be the midfield duo in the 8/6s? So I think we know that Agate probably will end up starting. Um, I think we know that perhaps Bruno, he's, being captain and all, he's bound to play in this team. Maybe if Ahmad is not playing wing back, he'll be in one of the other 10 positions. Maybe he reverts to type and puts Minu back into midfield next to Agate, but that's not going to work for me, and it's not going to work for this team. And Bruno, if he plays what he's going to have to play as a captain, plays further forward, that's the attack a bit more hampered. We need to see a better dynamic. This team function more like a well-oiled machine rather than a team that struggles to figure out its identity and know exactly what it's meant to be doing. Because you've got the instructions. All the players have their instructions. But listening to instructions and performing them seems to be worlds apart for these players. They just don't comprehend the idea of actually enacting instructions. So, yeah, of course, there's going to be a few concerns that I have for this team tonight. I'm fingers crossed we do see the best possible lineups. I know some people might say, "Oh, but why don't you rotate?" Well, the problem is that every time we've rotated, we've been absolutely clarted hard as well. So, for me, I need to see a strong team, the best team, and see what it is capable of. Because I think above all else, it needs a bit of confidence and a bit of momentum. So for me, if the team is strongest tonight and it performs well and it's victorious, don't change a thing. Do not change a thing against Spurs. Keep it exactly the same, right? Because if the team fails to perform, the fans aren't going to come after you as a manager. The fans will, but that's just fans being a little bit more idiotic. At least they can save themselves. Well, actually, the exact same team that did what it did against Leicester City did it well has thrown the towel in against Tottenham. So yeah, that for me is where I'm at with this team. Need to see the right lineup. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that Amarin can get the team selection right, and that he can put players in the right positions. Because if he keeps doing the same old thing, then it starts to sort of angle itself a little more towards the realms of the Ten Hag situation, where it's like the situation's not good. It's not your fault, but you could do better than what you are delivering, right? There's always just that little wiggle room to be better. And when you know that you're giving the absolute best, then everybody else can see it. Like, everybody can see you're trying. But if you don't look like you're giving the best, then why do people think that maybe Man United could be doing better without you? So I think it's best for all parties that we can avoid that questioning, and that we can ultimately focus on delivering what we need to deliver on the pitch, for the fans' sakes, for the players' sake, for the club's sake, and just anything that helps to sort of get our minds out of the gutter. Because right now it's pretty much feels like we're on the eve of war with the ownership, and we're on the eve of war once again. But ultimately, if we go out in the FA Cup tonight, there's no Carabao Cup, there's no FA Cup, and what confidence does that give us for the Europa League? Really, what confidence does it give us? Because I know we're in the with top 8 qualifications, but still, it's like the very first round we could go out because we couldn't beat Leicester, a team of similar quality, if not better quality. Well, they're just going to kick us out on our asses anyways, and then it's just a league. But we're down in the bottom half of the table, so it would literally be just a teeny tiny club mentality, or teeny tiny club positioning. But we're not a teeny tiny club, so ultimately, I just think that the emotions in the fan base would just completely boil over, would spill over. You'd see mad protests. I believe there should be protests anyways, because Ineos are not doing what they should be doing. They really should. You should be doing more. They can do more. They've got the ability to do more, but they just don't seek it. They don't want to do it, and they'll throw the fan base for a loop by just telling you, oh well, this is the situation. We can't do this and we can't do that because it's too hard for us. Well, I hate to burst your bubble, but it's not. It's actually quite simple. There's quite a few. There's probably quite a few instruction manuals out there that you could probably pick up one day and just read and like, oh, so that's how you run a football club. And it's just there's so many billionaire owners that just throw the book out the window. So yeah, I'm not interested in reading that. I just want to be in it for myself, and it does really seem like it feels like um, that the instructional manual has definitely been burnt at Man United, and everybody is just in it for themselves. You know, I just want to make money for myself, and well, the Glazers definitely do. Maybe Sir Jim's just like, I just want to see this club spin a profit. You know, I won't take any money for myself, but I'd like to see it be a profitable organisation. But we know that a club may be healthy, but it won't be successful, and it won't be run competitively. So you might get all of your cost cuts, but ultimately, is it winning? And I think we could sit here and say, no, it's not winning, and it probably never will if we continue down this garden path. It's of false dawns, and you know we need to avoid the situation wholeheartedly. Um, for a scoreline prediction, I can't remember if I've already given the scoreline prediction for this. I think I went for a win. I probably said something along the lines of like a 3-0, 3-1 scoreline, but probably I'll probably go like a bit more of a wacky 3-2. A bit more of a wacky 3-2. I hope it's not a 3-2. I hope it's more a 3-1, 3-0 scoreline, but you just can't take anything for granted with Manchester United. I think even with my predictions, I generally try to back my team to win. Maybe that's just taking too much for granted as well. So yeah, I'll go for a 3-2 win to Man United, and hopefully a Patrick Dorgu start. If we can get that, then fantastic. If we don't, then hopefully whatever else the manager's decided to go with. If he goes with an awful team, then there are not really any excuses, because we've seen the players that do give a lot, that do give more so than other players. And if we see players in the team that don't offer the team anything or don't really give a lot, then I've got to be honest that you can start to question things. But hopefully, fingers crossed, it doesn't come to that. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What your score predictions are. What your feelings about this match are. Do you think Dorgu starts? Do you think he's benched? Do you think Heaven gets in this team? You know, we've briefly overlooked Aiden Heaven, but I think he was brought in to be in and around the first team. Well, does that involve him starting some games? Martinez is out injured with a cruciate ligament injury, so that's his season done going on into next season, probably miss half the season as well. So there's another signing for the summer we have to think about. That will Ineos do it? Because we're already seeing, oh, sell to buy, sell to buy, sell to buy, guys. Well, let's see just how much of a promise that Ineos keep this time around. I mean, they've already kind of broken the promise about all sorts, but now they've talked about Project 21, alleged Project 21. Get Manchester United winning a Premier League title, their 21st Premier League title. And the ways, apparently, the means at which they want to do that are very questionable at best. So let's see what happens. But Martin is out for a long time. that's gonna change the dynamics of our defence a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see who fills that position. People will hash their guesses, hash their bets. I think Yoro probably plays more so than anybody else. I think De Ligt is obviously going to be in the team. I think Maguire's probably going to be in the team. Lindelof is still around, and I think Evans is still injured. Luke Shaw's now back out injured, and all the fan base want his contract terminated. So there's that. Um, who else? Well, of course, Heaven, Aiden Heaven. Maybe Heaven comes in clutch for us. He's not really played any first team football for Arsenal, so I don't know about playing first team football for United. But you never know. You just don't know until you hash the bet and try them. Maybe Heaven comes into the team. Sure, you'll show an experience, but maybe you'll show us a little something that this defence has been missing. You know, Martinez step out from the back, play, or carry the ball closer to your midfield. Maybe Heaven can do the same. You know, he's adapted from being a midfielder to a defender, but I think he's probably well suited to being a midfielder. He's got the qualities to step out from the back with De Ligt and whoever else staying back. So let's see. Let's see what the team makeup is. But don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the content. If you don't like it, then dislike it, report it. Just say that Fuzz decided to do an Elon Musk. I shouldn't say the other. Well, maybe I should, but the other Austrian bloke on stream and should be taken down forever. See that you see that that's I was angling. You see, it's heading towards that direction, But yeah, I best get out of here before I cancel myself. But anyways, take care, guys, and we'll see you later on tonight for match reactions. All the best. Ciao.